Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Well, long time no see. This interruption of service was brought to you by respiratory illnesses. I've been laying flat on my back, basically, for the past week or so. So casts were pretty hard to get in. It is now, I was actually running around, but I was feeling definitely more than a little under the weather. And it's been a while since I'd felt so sick that I was unable to do any casting, so that was fun. But we're back. And we're not only back, we're backer than ever with the RAGL Season 13 playoffs. This is soon, this is basically the prelude to the bronze match as well as the finals. And our two combatants that have stood the test of time and bested basically 8 other players are Mr. Gacius, spawning in the bottom left as the Russians. He has taken points off of Despro as well as many other players. So he's definitely, some would say, been punching above his weight class, but he has, in the meantime, established himself as a scary figure in competitive OpenRA, so probably not punching above weight anymore. Yep, little scout. And the other person, already a heavyweight from the last season, Mr. Cav, who has managed to carve a name hunt for himself and also take names off of established players. Now keep in mind, some of the established players have had a kind of a slump, but yeah. Regardless, this has been a really tough as nails series, and we are about to witness a best of 3, which I couldn't be more stoked about, because these two players definitely know what they're doing. Alright, little scuffles, little skirmishes. The hospital certainly won't help there. Just getting that extra health replenished. That ain't gonna do shit against a 10 stack. And with that, it is Mr. Cav. The onus is on Cav to reposition and try and take his Well Derek. I doubt this is gonna happen. Really loose movements from Gacius. It's kind of interesting. He has walled off. He has basically established a forward outpost, but this is still vulnerable to concentrated fire. And also, don't run your infantry in 5x5. This is the surefire way to lose the engagement. Alright. Ooh, really bad movement from Cav there. Gets jumped, runs into an ambush, and as a result loses all of his forces. There is one lonesome rifle left alone to try and get the snipe on the old Derek or on the engineer. Doesn't look to be very likely. There is APCs on the build queue for both people. Gacius is a bit behind, but I think that's just due down to some little macro slips. You know, the macro not being as perfected and as figured out as in StarCraft, where you have to have this X amount of probes at a second. Whoa! Wait, what? Cav actually... Okay. Cav actually abandoning his pursuit of the engineer. Not very ambitious, this rifle. Rather has some other plans in mind. Gacius is moving back to his original MCV. He smells an ambush coming, but that ambush ain't happening. On the other side, we're seeing Gacius taking a comfortable lead, to be honest. Gets one for the road. Getting to crush is sometimes so hard. 60% random chance, but sometimes it just takes way longer than 2 tries. Sometimes it's just easier to hose it down, especially with an APC unit as sturdy as the APC. There's the service depot. Not yet online for Gacius, so he's a little bit behind on all fronts. But yeah, ooh, Cav took back the oil Derek. Yeah, that was with the off the back of this engineer here. So this is going to be a little ring around the rosy with the APCs and them taking oil Dereks back and forth with their engineers. That's going to be kind of funny. APC's going to book it back as soon as he sees the engineer, I'd assume. Yes, sir. Hot diggity. No? Okay, Gacius is unaware. There is... Oh, this has grown to a really big discrepancy. Wait a second. Okay, so Gacius has built a heavy tank, that's why. He was super behind in the build timing, but it all makes sense now because he opted for one pressure tank. Thing is, Cav is playing relatively rocket soldier centric, so this can backfire really badly. If you manage to lose your first heavy tank, you're just going to be one heavy tank behind, as well as a lot of mining time. Yep, Ring Around the Rosie is commenced. Here is round number 2. Here's the APC off. Oh, he knows, he knows. Is the APC gonna be there in time? No, it isn't. He's trying with a sneaky rifle infantry. Gets proned. Oh! There's the retarget. And the engineer gets away safely. Welp. Is there gonna be a Tesla coil ready? No, it's just a flame tower. That would have been cool. Just popping down a Tesla coil, zapping the APC. That's that. Would have been hilarious. Okay. So, Gacius is mounting some pressure onto the main base. I think that's a smart idea. Considering your opponent is most likely going to have most of their army concentrated in the expansion. Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. He just lost his APC, but that's fine. If he can manage to inflict some major damage here, but ooh, Cav is reacting almost immediately. I feel like this is bound to be a very ill-fated push. Okay, he's trying his hardest, getting some power plants. Not the greatest of trade deals in the history of trade deals, if we're being honest. Oh my goodness, Cav is about to steamroll him here. He's got so many more tanks. Oh, you need some hit and run, my friend. Stutter step. Ooh, that was nasty. The stutter stepping there not very good, and that's gonna result in a really bad combat graph. That one's gonna sting. It's like 50% more assets killed, yeah. Or 100% if we're going from this angle. Oh, this is already looking really bad for Gacius. He's been trying to play the macro game, but that's not how you do that. Tank is trying to find the wounded harvester, and he needs to mount some defense. He needs a miracle defense right now. Right here, right now. And 2 flame towers. That's not gonna torch the toast. I mean, that's not cutting the mustard anymore. That's just... You need to try and torch the toast. And I don't think that's gonna happen. There is just too much steel, too much in the way of army. And already a lot of harvesters being killed as well. Yeah, the economical damage is just astronomical. Ooh. Living at large is Cav here. It's up 6 harvesters over 3. My goodness. This tank is still going strong. And the veterans is gonna allow him to merge with the army again. Because he's gonna be faster than the opposing tanks. Okay. Gets intercepted by the tank fresh from the factory. Thank you, good sir. On this side of the map, this push is also being cleaned up. It is looking very bleak in game number 1. Cav is floating hard, and Gacius is broke. Another harvester down. War factory dead. Yeah, there was no chance of a recovery here. Not against someone as econ savvy as Cav, who's already taken his 3rd expansion and was never pressured. That one push onto the main base just wasn't meant to happen. There was too good of a response time from Cav, and he had the larger army. There was just no hit and run kiting. Yeah, we're gonna see each other in game 2. That is the 1-0 up for Cav. And let's get hyped for game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And for game number 2, we're finding ourselves on Abendland. One of my favorite maps that I never played. Never got to play any of the maps in RAGL. Yo, gotta tell you a little story, a little OpenRA related Christmas story. Some of my students in 2nd grade of my new school have found out about my YouTube channel. That were really hyped. Some of them promised to give me like a new banner for my YouTube channel, and others were like, okay, we've picked up this game as well. We saw you cast it and it looked like fun, so we downloaded it. They actually played a session during one of my lessons, and I scolded them for it, obviously. But then I also said, okay, if you want to really get into this, we are going to play a match during the Christmas lesson, you know. So Christmas lesson is usually where there's no content being pushed, so that was fine. And I actually played my first legit game of OpenRA in 2022 against 6 of my students all at once. Keep in mind, they were all RTS noobs. So they all teamed up against me, and they obviously lost horribly. The funniest part was we used public servers, and some of the members from the community actually tried getting into the games because they just saw some server activity and they wanted to get in onto this game. So yeah, I was having matches against 6v1ing my students. That was kind of hilarious. And obviously, you know, they made all those noob mistakes, just hunkering down on one harvester and building lots of base defenses and then being shelled by artillery and being 1v6'd. It was tons of fun. It was a hilarious Christmas lesson and a lesson for them to never tribal with me again. They're like, this is unfair! But yeah, sorry. My first legit game of OpenRA. I think Master TD was the one who jumped on the server initially, and he had at least a TD tag. I think it was Master TD. Anyway, yeah, back to the game at hand. Double refinery and lots of scouting vision out for Cav. None of that is happening for Gacius because he's rushed a war factory and an APC. That is a curious choice on a map with this many derricks, but I guess he's just going on an NG hunt. Plus an NG of his own. This is very risky. If this can backfire so hard because you're really broke. Obviously the rush distance on this map is relatively large, plus you've got a lot of starting ore to work with, so this kind of makes sense on that map, but I'm still of two minds about it. If it were me, I would have done it, but then again I would also have just lost. Because you tend to get out pushed in the early game if you do that. Obviously, if you can manage to pull it into the mid game, you can outscale. He's on 3 harvesters now, and no 3rd harvester for Cav yet, so this build just scales harder. Ooh, he's going double barracks already. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan here. Honestly, I think he should go for... he doesn't have the economy to support it yet. Maybe wait for a 4th harvester before you start pumping out barracks. Because otherwise you're going to be broke, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case, almost. I mean, he's operating at peak capacity, so good on him. But obviously this just poses a big risk. 4 harvesters over 3 now. 4th harvester coming online for Cav, so the econ is relatively even now. I thought this ore truck would go in a crushing spree against the engineer, but no. APC's coming in hot, and he's gonna manage to get that easy peasy. Yeah, good fight, good night. And there goes your advantage. Not sure if worth. He actually got the oil derrick on the bottom left, so they're at oil derrick parity now, but he does have Cav does have an engineer, right? Yeah. We just need to zoom in so the pip can actually show. People have requested that I keep the camera closer, which makes complete sense. I'm just so used to zooming out all the way from my old screen, but with this absolute beast of a screen here, it doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah, it's a good call on that one. We're gonna go back to the production tab. Also, in terms of technical liabilities and technical issues, some people have requested double APC. Not the worst idea. Early on against someone who's playing infantry-centric, that can be really good. First expansion is out and should be outpacing the expansion of Cav, yeah. By just 20 seconds, but that's still significant. He can now move on. He can maybe try and claim the middle. That would be cool. Just redeploying here, killing the oil derrick, and establishing a forward outpost. So your opponent has nowhere to go. So people have been requesting me to use the zoom feature more, which, or the zoom out feature. Oh, he's going in hard. No rockets being crushed yet. That was okay. That was pretty worth it, I'd say. Yeah, thinning out the infantry herd for 1 APC. I think he got more than the APC was worth. As long as he manages to get away unscathed. Nope. Well, that about neutralizes his advantage, I'd say. So, combat tab. Ooh, Cav is in the lead yet again, and he's pushing. Does he have a Tesla coil? No, flame tower push. When a flame tower push is that's not that scary yet. Not yet. But obviously, Gacius has no idea yet. Ooh. Could shave off the first flame tower, that's always a good idea. Yeah, I think that's good. Shave off the flame tower, trade for a little bit of health on the heavy. Now, obviously this is gonna be really tough. Base push scenario, and I think Gacius would have the advantage here. Attack move. Ooh, Tesla coil is coming in as well. The Tesla coil has been misfiring. I think this should be just barely enough. Ooh, he gets another zap. But that's all the... are you on move command, my friend? You're on move command! Ah! Don't do that. Yeah, that's an easy engagement win for Gacius. So game number 2 definitely going his way. Ooh. MCV skittering away. Just a sliver of health left. But still, that is a massive investment for Cav that has been completely pointless now. Still, one of the barracks is alive. Yeah, kill the harvester. That's a good call. That's where the money is. Okay, all he needs to do now is consolidate his armies and start a counter push. This is actually way closer of a spawn than I thought. Huh. You can relatively easily... Oh no! Oh no! What? One heavy tank of Cav being sent into the backlines has killed 2 harvesters, so they're back again to parity. Yep. Destroyed tab is even. Economy. Oh, Gacius has actually lost more harvesters somehow. He's sending out his original MCV. Cav, that's a risky move, but I like it because currently there is no pressure from Gacius. Gacius is just posturing in front of the main base. I mean, why not just take this free expansion? Freebie! Take the gift that is being bestowed upon ye by the OpenRA god. Wartrack running away. There's barely any defense here, he could push through if only he knew. This is a scary army with 4 heavies and just a buttload of rocket soldiers. This expansion not yet revealed, but neither is this push. Ooh, this is the heart of the economy. 6 harvesters for Gacius. Make it 5. Make it 4. Oh no! Gacius, not like this. You're just hemorrhaging harvesters. He's got a really bad case of the harvester hemorrhage going on there. This heavy tank is getting deflected immediately. I mean, the army from Cav has nowhere to go, but that's basically his entire army. And it's basically Gacius' entire army that is required. He's splitting off. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if that's a good call. It's looking to be forces overwhelming for Cav yet again. Cav had no business winning this. And now Gacius is pulling back. Man, his army movement, I've got to say, just not on point. That was a little bit of a lapse in judgment yet again. This army is trading so well. Oh, the rocket's being sent away too. That's so nasty. And now there's 2 more harvesters dead. There is also an MCV that is very much in a compromised position. Very much in peril. He has forgotten about it and abandoned and dead. Yikes! Gacius is looking a bit lost and overwhelmed, honestly, I've gotta say. As confident as he was in the other games. Man, in this series, he's been just bleeding harvesters. My heart goes out to all the harvester drivers. All the lorry drivers that have ever been employed by Gacius. Thank you for your service. Oh man. Oh, the crush! That was a crushing defeat indeed. Man, the army is always being caught off guard, out of position. Gacius' harvester dead here as well. And that is gonna spell the 2-0. Excuse me. My cough still isn't completely gone. I have taken a corona test, so it's... I know it's not the Rona, but it still is something really, really nasty. Man, GG being called. Alright, that concludes game number 2 in a very convincing manner. We're gonna be back in game number 3.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Alright, yeah, a couple of words about the healthcare situation here. We traditionally have a very solid healthcare system, but right now it's just being overwhelmed. There is cases of the flu everywhere, and people apparently are starting to refuse to take the corona shots as well, so yeah, corona infections are resurging, re-emerging. That's really annoying. And as a teacher, you're just getting contact with literally thousands of people over the course of the semester. we had one of those evenings where the parents can come and voice their concerns, and I was bringing a box of tissues just for the people to peruse. And I swear, the other years I'd usually brought, before Corona, I'd usually just brought chocolates, you know. Chocolates would have served no purpose here. It was just tissues for everybody, and literally some of the parents just came in absolutely sick. It was wild. We had people coughing all over the table. We had people almost vomiting on the floor. Yeah, that was tons of fun, and my heart goes out to the staff, you know, the facility staff in our school who had to deal with this nonsense as well. Okay, double ref build here, and it's gonna be double ref both, obviously. Even though on this map, you know, I wonder, this is a 4-player map, it's called Isle of Wight, and it has 4 spawns. Question is this forced random or is it not forced random spawn? Or forced cross spawn or not? Maybe, because you obviously can't start next to each other, that wouldn't make sense. You know, just proxying each other. But maybe that's the reason why both people went for a double refinery. I honestly would have to ask the judges. Maybe TTTPPP can chime in because he usually watches the casts. That would be interesting. And he's the rule lord now that Point 1 has resigned. So double ref 1 barracks, no cheese builds just yet. But again, a 10-second discrepancy with no discernible reason whatsoever. I feel like maybe Gacius went first. Oh, second power plant, okay. So Cav is selling off his original refinery and saves on the time for a second power plant. That makes sense. So there is the hospital being claimed. And in terms of oil derricks, we're just seeing 1 being taken thus far. That is by Cav in the top left. I mean, this is not a very oil-centric map anyway. Again, a couple scuffles around. That was a nice backstab. He was trying to find the engineer. Trying to anticipate the engineer coming from the hospital. But mistiming it by a little, or misjudging. Because it's really hard to do predictive OpenRA, but it's one of the biggest skills in this game. Just assuming where opponent's army is and where it isn't. Okay, I'm seeing a couple scouts go down. The overall line of sight, I mean, on this map it's really hard to maintain. You've got so many angles, this is very open. You have no idea where opponent is spawning, I'd assume at least. Maybe we can get some clarification on that. 5 harvesters are online now. 4 only for our Cav, so... Oh, Gacius did forgo a light vehicle this time around. So no APC for him. Interesting. So this time he's the one trying to outscale and trying to get to his MCV faster. Let's see if that works for him. Oh no, he went 6 harvesters. What? That is a very econ-centric strat. You are gonna be losing out in terms of the army. The army engagements are gonna be terrible if you don't have a tank yet and your opponent has. Especially in the early stages, a tank makes so much more of a difference. Also, there is long distance mining here. I really don't like this this placement. Just gotta have to put it out there. Yeah. It's the economy of scale, right? Initially, 1 tank versus 0 tanks is a massive difference. Then 2 tanks versus 1 tank is still an incredible difference. And then it starts to kind of peter off. You know, and then it's 3 versus 2, and it's 4 versus 3, you can win that. Then it's 5 versus 4, it's whatever. So yeah, the earlier you're gonna start trading with this build, the more risky. MCV is gonna crush the fences and give itself away there. Attentive players know what's up. Also, Cav has positioned rifle scouts everywhere. Yeah, on pretty much all the expansions I really like that. Not on the southern perimeter. Yep. Has been revealed. Gacius has been scouted. Been sniffed out. And thus, Cav feels free to take his expansion and expand to the southern perimeter. He's starting to build some tanks. No tech has been observed in this game, in this series yet, by the way. These players are both very tier 1.5 centric. Very much service depot players. There are just 3 types of players in OpenRA. I mean, competitive players. There is the service depot players, then there's the radar tech players, and then there's the risky whatever the fuck, let's throw everything in the kitchen sink at them, let's go tech center tier 3 players. I'm certainly of the latter kind, but I know that traditionally I feel the service depot play has been the safest because it allows for the earliest pressure. It just allows you to basically accelerate the game to a point where the tech doesn't matter. Medium tank from Gacius trying to reposition. Army going on the intercept, not finding the mark. Oh, this guy has scampered away. Gacius, yet again. Your defenses, they're slipping. Oh no, if he loses another 2 harvesters to just a random tank there. Man, the APC getting so much crush value. But this should be a defensive position. There's lots of barracks coming in. There's just an endless stream of pillboxes. And the defensive lines have basically dried up. Yeah, this push was not a good idea from Cav. Oh, still going strong though. What was that with the focus? Yeah, yet again. Heavy tank has slipped through, has killed a harvester, and somehow, God knows how, Cav has won this engagement. I honest to God have no idea. He had no business winning this. One skill that Gacius definitely needs to develop a bit more is his harvester movement. As soon as your harvesters are under attack, you just need to pull them away. Oh, look at this one heavy. And here this army has accomplished absolutely nothing except dying to Flamer Blasts. Man, this series has been a doozy. I gotta say, I've been expecting a little more in terms of competitiveness, but everybody can have a bad day here and then. Gacius, yeah, that was a bit out of his depth, it felt to me. I think I've casted his regular series, or his regular season games against Cav, and they were much closer, if I remember correctly. Also, keep in mind, Gacius is the one who took a point off of Despero, and in a really convincing manner as well. So it's not like he's not competitive in this. He's in the top 4, for crying out loud. So he definitely has a build and has an idea of how he wants to play this game. It's just that he didn't get to play his game, and also letting tanks slip through every single time. Cav is so good at just sneaking them into your backlines and rear-ending you with double-barreled tanks. It stings a little. Kappa Pride. Anyway, that was a good overture to the RAGL Season 13 finale. This is the first leg of the playoffs. The second leg between the other 2 players that are going to be revealed next week is going to be played out or casted on this channel in a couple days, and then we're going to go into the bronze match and the finals, and after that more variety RTS content, and I'm hopefully back on track. I know content has been scarce lately, but we're going to blame the Rona and the flu and everything combined, converging into one giant super virus. Right, that's it for now. See you next time. Thank you for watching and listening in. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.